Hi there, everybody. This is modulistack. I am trying out the music a little louder this time, so we'll see. Oh no, that looks like a very early scout from Phril. We will get back to that in a second. I am starting my 4th semester of graduate school today, and I'm going to celebrate this by sitting around in my pajamas until noon, because my first class is not until significantly after that. Now, the person who submitted this on Reddit said that it is a diamond replay, and then immediately said it was a practice league game. So one of those is incorrect, but looks continuing to build SCVs almost. Wow, okay, so Phril has definitely made his presence known at this point. This is the earliest scout I have ever seen. Absolutely no reason to send a scout out immediately. This was one of his first workers, and as you can see, he's going to do a tiny bit of damage to an SCV and then run away. He's even taken non-shield damage, which will not regenerate. I didn't see the exact path, but he might have been thinking about proxy pylon or something, but did put a pylon down in his base at the ordinary time, and is now distracting himself with this micro so much that his gateway is not going down, and neither are probes. So, cute micro to annoy your opponent, always a good thing, but don't distract yourself. I mean, that's auto harassment. Okay, 2 SCVs though chasing this 1 probe. Don't chase 2 probes with 1. Excuse me. Let me start that over. Do not chase 1 probe with 2 SCVs. Inherently, you are losing more mining time than your opponent if you do that. Second pylon going up on 15. There's a variety of reasons to do interesting pylon timings as Protoss. You might be thinking about getting a Zealot out, for example, very quickly, which he can do because of that slightly early pylon. Chooses instead to queue up several probes. You probably don't want to queue up probes. I know this is a really early stage, and queuing probably feels okay, but you can become more aware of the subtleties in early build orders if you don't queue. You can start to realize, oh, I have a little bit more at this point than I thought I did. That means I can put down my second gas earlier, or that means I can get an earlier Zealot, for example. And okay, excellent job getting that warp gate and chrono boosting immediately. Almost all Protoss should do that. In the meantime, what are we seeing from the Terran? We're seeing an extremely fast expansion right after barracks, and there is a bunker thrown in for good measure. This bunker is too early. As you can see, the Protoss only just got 1 Zealot out, and that Zealot is nowhere near walking all the way across the map. So, paranoid bunker here. Should adjust that timing a little bit to when you actually need it, because those resources could be used for an earlier third or fourth barracks, for example. These little considerations, I do dwell on them a lot, and that is because they are very important. Getting your build order smoothed out as much as possible. It's not, I don't know, I don't want to use the expression build order. It's not the greatest expression, because what I'm talking about is not a recipe that tells you exactly what to do at which point. What I'm talking about is that you are opening up the game, and you want to do that in a way that is as efficient as possible, because you want to do everything in StarCraft as efficiently as possible. And starting out with an opening that is not efficient is a very bad way to teach yourself to play efficiently. If you open perfectly, efficiently every time, then you're more likely to make very crisp timing decisions as the game goes on. We see an Immortal out of this robotics facility from Phril. Kind of cool. Of course, does he know? He does know about the fast expansion, so he already has. This is a cool choice. He already has the information he needs, so he's not going to get an observer right away. He's going to chrono boost out 2 Immortals though, and I really like this. I really like this way of going up against the build we are seeing from Terran. I mean, When you fast expand, you are always worried about some kind of bust. And on the other hand, if you see your opponent fast expand, one of the major ways that you should think of in dealing with that is to just go and attack it. So Immortals are, of course, a great busting unit against any buildings, and there are a lot of bunkers up for our Terran player who presumably senses something amiss, although I'm not sure if he has actually scouted what the Protoss is doing. And here the Mortal shows up. Good repair. SCV is ready to come up and repair this bunker. Protoss should not be targeting it so much because he's going to take a bunch of damage. I mean, so I was saying that you do want to think a lot about bust, and look at that. Ooh, never good to have this kind of timing where your second Immortal shows up right after you wanted to attack. Now he's going to maybe poke over here to find another weak point. I was going to say the flip side of busts being a really solid idea against fast expansions is that often these fast expansion builds are fast expansion builds because they are safe. And players who practice them really well will be able to hold off your aggression. He might get this barracks, though, and that would be... oh, he does retreat. I think he probably could have picked off that barracks. Interesting. Terran has gotten an engineering bay to get that bunker capacity upgrade. I pretty much never see that, so hard for me to evaluate whether it is good or bad. On the other hand, I do ask if that would really have been better than a +1 attack upgrade. I don't even know how much the bunker upgrade cost. Protoss is continuing to be aggressive, but he is expanding while doing so, and that makes it much better. Okay, this time he is going to go for that. What? What? Kill the okay, jeez. Does get the barracks. Of course, Terran does have 3 more. The barracks is just 150 minerals. Isn't because he has these 3 up, it's not going to affect his production too much. Although, always a good thing to kill your opponent's buildings, because once you kill all of them, you win the game. Now, still only 2 warp gates up for Phril, and that is starting to show in his resource count. 470 gas, and these warp gates are not even on cooldown, so probably should be getting sentries, although he's just getting, wow, really a ton of Immortals. And I kind of like this. We don't see lots of Immortals very often anymore. People loved them during the beta, but they kind of fell out of fashion a little bit. Another bunker going down. Terran is definitely letting his money build up. It's, you know, the pressure of being attacked can really get to you, but you have to keep in mind what your goals are. So in this case, probably getting up more production facilities would be good. 3 starports. I should be keeping the production tab open so I don't miss these things. By the way, Twilight Council going down for the Protoss, as well as 2 more gateways. Terran is going for triple starport, and that just seems kind of bizarre to me. He is finally pushing out against this Protoss force with a lot of SCVs. Kind of looks like an all-in, but I don't know. Marines are just so good against everything that Phril has right now that he should be thinking about falling back himself, making some sentries. By the way, Protoss players, always make some pylons out by your natural expansion. These should be here a lot earlier because, I mean, for example, right now, Skatbone, I did kind of jump into this game, didn't I? I never introduced the players. Oh my god, I am losing my touch. Just like the guy in LCD sound system. Oh no, he's losing his edge. Never mind. So anyway, you want these pylons out a lot sooner because it is so important to be able to warp in emergency units. And if you have to warp them in, look at this. There's not even a pylon here. So you would need to warp in your units here and then run them all the way down here to protect your expansion. So that's, yeah, get those pylons out earlier. Turret is up here, which is a nice little thing to throw up. I guess that's why he made the engineering bay in the first place. And this is concern about Dark Templar. Of course, when you see this many Immortals, shouldn't be that worried about Dark Templar. I mean, you should be ready to scan. I mean, the thing is, you feel a lot more secure with a turret like this, but that is 100 minerals, right? I mean, it's great eventually to have a turret here. I'm just saying, I think he might have gotten it a bit early because, well, you can always scan for DTs. You do have 2 orbital commands after all. So we're seeing the only thing that makes sense out of 3 starports, which is Mass, Raven, Banshee. Also getting an armory up, maybe for air armor upgrade. Who can say? He has gotten infantry level 1, infantry weapons and armor level 1. He's just getting armor now. So this also might be for the +2 attack upgrade. Loses a Raven. Those cost a lot of money. Do not bring your Ravens into battle with you. And if you do, make sure they have enough for Point Defense Drone. Point Defense Drone is great against Stalkers, but when a Raven first comes out, it does not have enough energy for Point Defense Drone. We're going to go into Mass Raven. I think that's kind of cool. Skatbone does have the economy for it because he has 2 bases up, and it answers my question that I didn't vocalize earlier, but it did go through my head. What is he going to do with all this gas? Phril is expanding to the left side. Let's check saturation, shall we? Phril needs more probes here. And this number is okay, but you should really continue to produce probes at your next eye, especially if you're planning on expanding. That's the real issue. He could have gotten a lot of probes. He could have chrono boosted out a lot of probes, has some chrono boost left over, so he could have gotten probes out faster and then would have more to transfer to his expansion. Just to get it online immediately. Lots of Marines from Skatbone. Like this, Marines are awesome. Lots of Ravens out. I don't know, he's being a little bit bold with these Ravens. Ravens are quite weak before they get point defense drone, which is, well, so they start with 75 energy, I think. Point defense drone is 100 energy, and until they can get out of point defense drone, they're very weak against Mass Stalker. Which is what we're saying. Oh, Templar's out. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to the Protoss tech choices, but he did get that Templar Archives. He also got Zealot Charge, even though he doesn't have any Zealots. I questioned that decision.